Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at a new line of action figures which I have not talked about before. This is the Mattel Jurassic World, the Hammond collection Velociraptor Delta. Now, this is a very interesting figure. This is my first time ever talking about the Hammond collection. It's been a long time since we talked about Mattel. I actually picked this up at Universal Studios Hollywood right after getting off Jurassic World the ride. And that was definitely an experience. So, since I opened her the night I got home, which was in fact Friday the 13th, I didn't even realize when I got there that it was Friday the 13th. So, yeah, I already opened her. I have some footage of when I opened her, but I changed the backdrop, so let's take a look at the box. And so here is the box. Really classy packaging, I must say, especially for a Jurassic World line. One thing I find interesting is that they use a render of the figure and not of the actual character, or I guess in this case dinosaur, which is interesting. You can see the way it's designed to me kind of looks like a cage. I really like that. There you can see Hammond collection. Here's another render of the figure. Really interesting. Here's a look at the back. Really nice, and here's also a description which reads: the second biggest of her pack behind Velociraptor Blue, Velociraptor Delta is part of the Raptor squad trained by Owen Grady after the Indominus Rex escapes on Isla Nublar. Velociraptor Delta and her pack are pulled into the hunt, but things don't go as Vic Hoskins predicts. Okay, here are the other figures of the wave. They also make human figures, which are like 4 inches tall. There's Claire Deering. There's the Pyroraptor, which in fact I could have bought either this or the Pyroraptor, but I prefer this because the Velociraptors are my favorite dinosaurs of the Jurassic World franchise. There's the... okay, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. Let's just call it Edward Dinosaur Scissorhands. And the Giganotosaurus, which is an absolute beast of a figure, no pun intended. So yeah, that's the box. Really classy packaging, I must say. This is a more collector-oriented line, so now let's actually take a look at the figure. And so here we have Delta, and even though I talked about the Hammond collection, I haven't specified what it specifically targets to do. Now, Mattel has had the Jurassic World line for quite a while now, and a good majority, if not almost all of their toys, are well made for kids. They're made to be played with, so they're very cheap. In this case, the Hammond collection is meant more towards collectors. Older fans of Jurassic World who want to have detailed figures based on the dinosaurs and the human characters. As I mentioned, these are, I believe, in like a 4-inch scale in terms of like the human characters, so to make the dinosaurs look bigger. But in this case, the whole point is that they have premium detailing, more posability, and just overall are geared towards display and toy photography. So in that regard, this figure is incredible. Now, it's a very unique shape because again, it's a Velociraptor. It's not technically a character. Well, I guess the Raptor squad are technically characters, but they don't really have like personality. So it's really interesting to get a line dedicated towards the dinosaurs mainly. Now, the paint job is incredible. It's very, very detailed. Also, the plastic, it feels really interesting. It has sort of texture to it. It's really, really cool. I haven't seen anything like that in anything that I bought from either Mattel or just action figures in general. Really, really nice paint everywhere. My only problem is with the neck, the way that it's already scraping off when you pose the figure. But looking at the eyes, there you can see that they tried to use this sort of transparent plastic inside. It looks really cool, or well, it really depends on the lighting, because if the lighting doesn't hit right, it kind of gives the eyes sort of dead look. But if it hits the lighting just right, it looks really, really cool. And the fact that this is meant to be like one of the lower end figures, one of the cheaper ones, I believe the Raptors cost like $17 to $19, while the other smaller dinosaurs I actually paid $25 because, you know, it was I actually bought this at the gift shop at Universal Studios Hollywood after getting off of Jurassic World the ride, which was honestly terrifying. The animatronics of the Indominus Rex and the T-Rex are horrifying, but I also really like the ride and I wanted to buy something as a souvenir, so that's why I got this, even though it was $25. So I'd say in terms of value, yeah, I think it's going to be a bit hard to justify these figures because of, you know, they're not technically named characters. Well, I guess this raptor is, but The whole point is that it's mostly about the dinosaurs. So yeah, I still really like this figure, but it's gonna be harder to collect this unless you're like a big dinosaur fan or Jurassic World fan. Because apart from the premium details, there's the articulation, which is also really good. Let's take a look at that right now. So first off, she has movement here at the head, a lot of movement at the head, but one thing I really like, which I guess is obligatory for dinosaur figures now, the mouth opens, and that is so cool. There you can see how even the teeth have been painted. I believe the larger figures like the T-Rex have a opposable tongue, which is crazy. Also movement here at the neck, at the arms. They even have wrist articulation, elbow articulation, I'm sorry. I kind of wish they had wrist, but I think that's already asking too much. She has movement here out of the legs, the knees, and even at the feet. Really cool. And as I mentioned, the tail is actually made out of a bendy material. It has wire inside, which my only problem is that it has these tiny holes, which I get it that it's for the bendy wire, but I also get the feeling like it could break someday. I'm really worried about that. There you can see how it's meant to work, and yeah, it's actually really cool. Now, again, for what it is, a dinosaur, such a unique shape, it looks really cool. You can definitely get these raptors in some really cool poses like this. Again, this figure is striking, and I can just imagine like putting her in like in grass or something like that for some toy photography. It will look epic. I in fact took some pictures of that, so I'm probably gonna post those in a moment. But now that we took a look at the figure, let's do some size comparisons. And so first off, here we have Delta alongside Star-Lord, because, Chris Pratt. And I must say, even though they're not meant to scale, which I think they scale well enough, I know that the dinosaurs should be a bit bigger, but I don't know, I just feel like these figures really go well with each other, and even though Mattel did make an Owen Grady figure, I think this is the best Chris Pratt figure made so far. Like, I think this head sculpt is the one that resembles him the most. And overall, I just really like how, even though it's not meant to scale, they actually does scale pretty nicely. And just to give you a better sense of scale with this figure. And here we have a bunch of different action figures of different lines I collect for. Hopefully this gives you a better sense of scale of the figure. I'd say in this pose, the figure's about 4.5, almost 5 inches tall. But it really depends on the way you pose the figure, how tall she actually is. And with the tail and everything, I'd say she's about 6 inches long. So yeah, pretty nicely sized figure. And again, even though they're not meant to scale each other, I'd say this is accurate enough to the point that where it doesn't really look weird in a collection. And it's just interesting seeing how we have all these other lines of named important characters, and then we have the Hammond collection, which mostly just does the dinosaurs of the franchise, but it's still really cool. I'm really happy that this line exists, because, again, dinosaur toys are usually made to be played with. Mattel makes them for kids to play with, so to have this geared towards collectors and meant to be, like, for display, posing and such, it's really cool. And I definitely think this figure fits well in my collection. So overall, the Mattel Jurassic World Hammond Collection Velociraptor Delta is a really cool figure. I really like this line as a whole, even though I only have one figure. The fact that this is meant to be like one of the lower end figures and it's already impressive. I cannot even imagine what something like the T-Rex of this line must look like. It's really cool. The articulation for what is again meant to be a dinosaur is really cool. The fact that this technically animal character is so poseable gives me hope that other action figure lines can start doing these kinds of characters. Well, not technically characters, just animals, dinosaurs, etc. It's really cool. I really like the concept of the Hammond collection. Will I start collecting it? Maybe. As I mentioned, I got this at the gift shop from Jurassic World A Ride at Hollywood, so maybe I might get some of the other dinosaurs that were present in the ride as animatronics. But besides that, I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to get like really into collecting the Hammond collection, because again, these are not technically named characters for the most part, so it's kind of hard to justify, because again, the price is not bad. The smaller ones I mentioned are like $19. They were $25 at the gift shop at Hollywood. They were the slightly larger ones, like the Triceratops, I believe, are like $25. Or no, wait, I think it was $35. And the biggest ones, like the T-Rex, are $55. So yeah, there is definitely a sort of scale class. But overall, I really like this figure. Again, I might get into collecting the Hammond collection. It's really awesome. I love the Jurassic World franchise. I have mentioned that before, but I actually saw all 3 Jurassic World movies in theaters, and I have wanted to talk about Jurassic World, and this was the perfect excuse to do that. Now, I have been wanting to do Jurassic World video for a while, and I actually have a sealed Jurassic World toy, not a Hammond collection figure that I bought a while ago, but I moved, it's in storage, I had no idea where I left it. I had a comment a while ago asking for a video on Jurassic World, so hopefully the person who said that comment is watching this. And yeah, that's going to be pretty much it here. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments what you think about this figure. What you think of the Hammond collection. Would you like to see more videos on this collection? And that's it. Thanks for watching.